What up, people? This is Deli G, known to folks as Deli God. Let me close this door right quick. Hello, it's your boy, Deli G, also known as Deli God. Uh, yeah, it's been a minute since I made a video. Some folks was asking my take on the DMX situation and the coincidences surrounding that. All right. I'm just getting some stuff situated over here, making sure everything is ready. And I hope y'all doing well. Feel free to click that like button if you're on YouTube or Instagram or even Facebook. Even feel free to subscribe at Occult Freestyle. So yeah, DMX. I I, I refer to DMX as what is it? One of the Dog Fathers, like Snoop Dogg. Towards the end, of his life, he had the versus battle between DMX versus Snoop Dogg. If y'all know anything about dog energy in the spiritual realm, for example, Anubis, he was the guide to the underworld. Sits right at the gateway of it. There's a dog in Mexico. I think it is. I don't know what it's called, but it starts with an X. And this dog helps lead people through the underworld. That's what that dog does. And a lot of material that DMX would produce, well, this was one of the dog fathers. He had dogs on his tracks. He would always growl. He would even talk about hell, which is a supposed underworld to a degree. He talks about his struggle while being on this planet. He was a rough rider. He was an unapologetic black man who, I would say, gave himself to Christ. And you'll often see him praying or see him dealing with his higher power. And so him and God was going to be synonymous with each other regardless. Because let's look at the word dog or even God. They are the mirrors of each other. Dog in reverse is God. God in reverse is dog. So he was going to reflect that energy anyway. So it's like DMX was mad interested. He did some roles with Aaliyah. Yeah, he was, for me listening to him, he was like a chaos being to me. Very chaotic energy, but very raw. He appealed to the black man in the streets, who has gone through something and has gone through struggles. So rest in peace to DMX and all our fallen folks that went in the past. Now, yeah, I'm smoking. That's why I'm coughing. So this guy dies, and at first people were saying, "Oh, it was an overdose," right? That's what they put in the headline as an overdose. And bro looked pretty healthy when we were seeing him in these different interviews, but you never know anybody's struggle. But at the same time, you know, him overdosing is questionable because we dealing with America media. America media who manipulates things to a degree of American media has been known to manipulate us to a very high level degree. You know, it's I've talked about with my friends in the past about Black Panther. The brother that played Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, he had a lot of 42s in his life. He had some 42s in his name. He played number 42 with Jackie Robinson. He died, I think, 4 days after Kobe Bryant's day or Kobe Bryant's birthday. That from that 24 and 42 energy, because 42 is just a reverse of 24. And he died at the age of 42. And when I say the media manipulates, there were some brothers that did podcasts when Chadwick first came out and was talking about the Black Panther. They were talking about his age, right? And I thought it was interesting, so I looked this up. So they said he died at 40. Was it 43 or 40? Yeah, I think it was. They said he died at 43. And if you looked on Google on the Wikipedia of there, but if you look on Wikipedia of Yahoo, they date his year a year back, which was his true age, which was 42. So I'm like, this is strange. You had Kobe Bryant that year that died. I think at the age of was it 41, but he had the number of 24. And a reverse of 24 is 42. But back to DMX. When I pulled up his numbers, I thought these things was was a bit far-fetched, Let me share my screen with y'all right quick. Okay. Hell, it's hot. I bet it is. So I'm gonna look up DMX. That's what we got going here. These are his numbers. So overdose. Okay, look at that. So if y'all not familiar with gematria is basically like a system where every letter has a numerical value, and there's different ciphers of how you calculate the numerical value. For example, you have this English ordinal. Well, before I even start with that, gematria comes from the Jewish numbering Hebrew system, because their letters have a numerical value. So, their first letter may be equivalent to 1, their second to, they might have a number or a character for 300. They have a system. So, we're starting with the English ordinal because, of course, we speak English, And so our A's, as you see over here, is 1, B's 2, all the way to 13, and Z is 26. And then you have the full reduction. What is this full reduction? Well, as you can see, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4 to 9, which is I, and it repeats. Why does it repeat? Because they say once you get to 10, right? 1 plus 0 is just 1. So they just cut it out and it's like, okay, J is 1, K is 2, and then, that's how that cipher's going. When they cipher it all the way down. Then you have the reverse, basically starting with Z as 1 all the way to A as 26, and then Z is 1, and y'all, I think y'all get the point. So these numbers right here, you have this 40 at a full reduction and this 41. Then you have DMX, who has a 41 and also a 40. So yeah, it's these things ironically tie themselves together. But for whatever reason, but the numbers definitely correlate. So that's probably why the energy was used in that manner. And so for me, when I look at words and numbers and shit, I look for things that tie it to a direct frequency. A direct frequency is like if all of these letters make up 40, right, for overdose, and all of these letters make up 40 for DMX, then these things are connected at least on a numerical level, at the very least. He died on Lil Nas X birthday. That was strange. And people was asking about that. Like, why? Like that? Like, it was very strange. So if, let's say this was a natural thing that occurred in life, for the energy to land on Lil Nas X birthdays, highly suspect to me. But I know these cats, these cats also have people behind them. They have a whole industry behind them, to some degree. And so, so you have Lil Nas X. His energy is, he is seen, I would presume, as a gay rapper, I guess. I remember when bro came out during Pride, and I thought that was clever as shit. I'm like, his record sales it skyrocketed, and I'm like, this dude's marketing is like on point. Like, that's how you make some money. It's like, oh snap. That, I don't know, something about this character that, came through, Lil Nas X. I had to raise an eyebrow to him. I'm like, oh, you in the industry now. You're dealing with Billy Ray Cyrus, all them cats. So he got a lot of flack for coming out with this Montero song. And so if you don't know what that is his real name is Montero. And there was some imagery. It was a lot. It raised a lot of questions. Uh, it was like very sexual in nature. I would even throw in the term homoerotic, if that's a thing. There was an aspect of that, and I think that's where a lot of the controversy came in. And a lot of people talked about that. It was like you had some people that were on the side of, well, there's children, and he went from being this artist for the children, and his art, although it would appear that he has attached himself to children, but listening to the lyrics, that ain't really meant for kids. So it's he becomes this polarizing figure, where he goes down in boots and long hair, and just if you ever seen Powerpuff Girls, he looked like the black him. If y'all know what I mean, so he takes the pole down the hill and gives the devil the lap dance, and he breaks the devil's neck and he takes the devil's horn and cubs the devil. Right? At least that's what the imagery suggested. So you have this cat, Montero, and Lil Nas X. So I've heard Black Dot say this. There was Lil Nas X is composed of like different, three different energies. He represents the littles, like Lil Wayne. He represents Nas, the Nas energy. We all know Nas, and Nas got his first Grammy. So I guess I haven't really listened. Like I listened to some of his last project, but I haven't really listened. Nor have I looked at his artwork for the year. But Lil Nas X, he definitely did something with Nas. Oh, then he has an X too. So that X holds a lot of energy. That X that goes into DMX, that goes into that could go into XXX. That can even go to the Malcolm X's maybe to some degree. And I'm not saying that this guy is Malcolm X. I'm not saying that at all. But he's it just seems like he's being used as a vessel of some sort to draw in a cumulative of energy, bundled into one. Bundled into one. So you got the X energy, and so he's doing the 666 thing, the devil thing, and some people in some spectrums, they'll be like, well, the 666 is the 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons for carbon. Some people will go there, and then some people are, they're they're on the mark of the beast type of stuff. But I would say, the characters of DMX and Lil Nas X, dealing with, I guess, their devils is interesting. They both did it differently, and it was weird because you'll have some older interviews of DMX, the Dog Father, right? He'll talk about the industry, and he'll talk about, it's full of like dick sucking and bent over the table ass funny shit. That's how he would describe it. And so it's the irony of this cat supposedly getting off of life support on this young man's birthday, who he was born on what was that? So was Lil Nas X. Born. Just so y'all know, I ain't jawsing. He was born. Birthday. See right there. So his birthday is April 9th, 1999. And so, if you flip that upside down, that could be a 6666. And he's the age of 22. And I think the verses happen on 222. Let me make sure. DMX verse. Yeah, it happened July 22, 2020. So DMX went out on that 22 energy, and it went to uh, Lil Nas X. You know that I feel like he's a type of gateway or a surge to some degree. You know, but he represents accumulation of energy right now. You know, and it's funny. people were surprised that he he like came out as like this character that I guess what he became or what he is. And be honest, when this cat first came on the scene, nobody knew who this cat was. You just gotta watch him. You know, some people thought he was an industry plant, whatever that means. You know, so you have this kid, and I'm like, watch this kid and watch how he moves about, because it's like, oh, he's very polarizing. You know, and a lot of people. It's funny that the topic of what do you call that, homophobia came up when it came to like the imagery, and I thought some of the imagery was dope. You know, I personally don't like seeing uh, men kiss each other. That's just not my thing. Um, but there was a thing about the shoes with the paint and the human blood in it. It was about that. See, there's all these conspiracies going around in 2020. Yeah, in 2020 about, what are the people, they're basically a vampiric type of energy, right? So, and how like there's folks that may be in certain industries that are really like vampires. You know, can't really absorb sun naturally, or they might partake into doing foul things, whatever that might be. If you know what they were talking about in 2020, then you know. I don't have to explain any of that, but there's a video that came out with Nas and Little Nas X where it looks like Nas was Morpheus. Little Nas X, he gets bitten and he becomes a demon, and his ears turn all pointy and shit. Like if y'all ever see, just look up the video of Nas and Lil Nas X. You know, you'll see what I'm talking about. Where it's, he becomes a demon, and so now where we're at is bro became the devil imagery. You know, bro slid down the hill, killed the devil, took his horns. Watch what they do with cuts, but the blood in the shoe. There's a term, red bottoms, bloody shoes. It's not necessarily unique to Cardi B, but you know, there's rumors of folks in the world that have literal bloody shoes. So this young man, whatever theories was out last year in 2021, he acted them out with the shoes. He became the devil and had blood in his shoes. I'm like, oh snap. Real polarizing character, this one. So, and I really don't, I still don't know this dude. You know, him and DMX now have something in common. Because DMX talked about, he wasn't with none of that. funny business, and then you have this young cat who's with all of it. He's with all of it, and you know, it feels like a weird absorption. So it's like seeing what they'll do with him next. Prince Philip, though, the beloved royal gone at 99, the prince and the rapper, but trouble music dies at 50. I want y'all to take a good look at that. Just the imagery, you know. Don't let the emotions overwhelm you about, you know, yeah, it might make you mad about the disrespect of these characters, but really look at the imagery. On one end, you have in text the black. Beloved royal is gone at age 99, the prince. And then he said, and, you know, the black and white in the middle, the rapper in white. Brilliant but troubled musician dies at 50. Sorrow from Britain to Yonkers. Now, they raised up DM, although, you know, the text is, one text is above and the other text is below. They raised up DMX. You know, this is, in it, man. I was about to say they put down Prince Philip because, you know, that's the imagery that I see. And Philip, his middle finger is up and it's pointing to DMX, but the energy is being directed towards DMX. You know, so you know there's some folks in the conscious community that were talking about, like, you know, could they have like sent their own, you know, members up, because, you know, DMX energy is really great. Like that dog energy, that just raw chaos, you know, that holds merit. And I had thought about this too. Like every year on that date, April 9th, motherfuckers gonna be howling. Howling every year. You know, I think about that. You know, even Doom, MF Doom, he went out on Halloween. People for sure gonna be rocking the mask this year. So it's just like they sort of marked themselves, you know, into this world. You know, people are gonna be howling on this day from years to come and not know why. You know, he'll become like some type of legend or a werewolf in lore or something, you know. But the prince, you know, they put the prince, although they put the prince above that character right there with the hat, and they put it right next to DMX. So you have Prince Philip and you have Earl Simmons. See, Earl, a lot of people don't know this. Earl is like a type of nobility. See, Earl is a rank of nobility in Britain. The title originates in the Old English word earl. I don't know if I said that right, meaning a man of noble birth or rank. In modern Britain, an earl is a member of the peerage, ranged below a marquis and above a viscount. A feminine form of an earl never developed. A set of countess is used. Wow. So earl is a rank of nobility in Britain. The title originates in the Old English word earl, meaning a man of noble birth or rank. in modern Britain, an earl is a member of the peerage, ranking below a marquis and above a viscount. Okay, wait, what does duke mean? Duke. I said that wrong. Dookie. That's what popped up. Ah, shit. I'm so childish. Hmm. What is a duke to a king? What is a duke to a earl? Forgive my silence. I was just silently reading. What do they say about the earl? Earl is the third rank of the peerage, standing above the ranks of viscount and baron, but below duke and marquis. So this, we'll go to yeah. So this guy is so-called duke, but he's an earl, Earl Simmons. So you know, we know a melanated folks is of the original mans of the world, and last year, Corona kicked off. Corona also means crown. Corona kicked off with uh, the Brexit, Britain leaving the European Union, and that's when Meghan Markle and them decided to leave, and they come out here, and then that's when Prince Andrew and them start getting accused of shit, and all type of stuff was coming out about the racist royals, and then all of a sudden this guy dies at the age of 99. And the 99th day of the year is April 9th. 100th in the leap year. Okay. And it's also 266 days remaining until the end of the year. Okay. He 99 and died at the 99th day of the year. And was it Lil Nas X? He was born April 9th, 1999, which is the 99th day of the year. Dog. Snap. Yeah. So I want to get to, this Exodus passage, which was tatted on his neck, right? And who's next? DMX, Exodus 1 through 7. These are the names of the sons of Israel who went to Egypt with Jacob, each with his family: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah; Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin; Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. The descendants of Jacob numbered 70 in all. Joseph was already in Egypt. So, from that passage, um, I feel like, DMX, he knew he's of the tribe of Judah, and the tribe of Judah is like the lost tribe over here in Americas. So I've heard from the Hebrew Israelites, and correct me if I am wrong, and let a brother know. But they are said to be like of the chosen people of Israel. Judah's a warrior race or a warrior group, descendant bloods. So it's like seen a video where DMX was talking to the Hebrew Israelites, knowing he's of that bloodline. So, well, I'm gonna go back to this. Gematria. So I'm gonna go down to here. So Lil Nas X. So I was making more connections. His numbers is 91, 28, 98, 44. Then you have Judah. Judah is 44, 17, 91, 28. So in this cipher, Lil Nas X has 91 and 44 in common with Judah, because Judah has 44 and 91 over here, numerically. So Lil Nas X also numerically connected might represent Judah as well. So, it's or a form of Judah. So he is this what may that look like, but it's still weird. That's the things that they also have in common, because DMX is he has Judah energy too. The fact that he tatted that on his neck, Exodus 1-7. He talks about the tribes and the descendants of Jacob, the 12, to where he tatted it on his neck, that throat chakra. I want to add to the Windsor Prince dude, whatever his name is. Yeah, Prince of Edinburgh, was a member of British royal family. His husband of Elizabeth II. He's a dude. He rocked with them Windsor folks. And this is what I wanted to pull up. This. So although this happened last year in December, they just released this video to us right before the supposed death. And it's, this happened in Windsor, somewhere, Virginia. Yeah, Windsor, Virginia. So, all of these energies is connecting for some reason. And I really don't have where they might take the energy. Because, when you have certain folks that ascend, that the energy, transforms into something else down here while we're still here. So, they sent up that character along with DMX, so that portal was open. He reached his 50th stage. He ascended how he ascended. That some people put the overdose on him. Some people even put in the vaccine that he had days prior. And yeah. And I'm still meditating on this, actually. I'm still processing all of it, because all of it is just like, what? Let's say you're looking at the Matrix. Let's say you Neo, you can see all the numbers and shit. some numbers, when they reoccur, you pay attention to them. I usually pay attention to them because I always feel like when it comes to media, there's a degree of they are pulling on our energy to, fuel whatever it is they're trying to convey or trying to build or trying to capture off this emotional energy. And I don't never really like to be the type to give off my energy to said things. I like to observe them first, like, rest in peace to the cat or to the dog rather. Um, he had great works, I would say. His works were great. What he left behind, but yeah, were great. As a symbol, what he stood for. You know, don't really know the man personally, but I've heard a lot of his music, and just some of his ad libs of just uh just stand the test of time. He became and was that dog energy. You know, so he was also one of them X's. And really put the energy down in this world. But yeah, to conclude what I'm saying, just laying it out. So you have DMX. He went out on his 50th birthday. He went out, something dealing with his heart. Went out on April 9th, the 99th day of the year. They sent the Prince up with him. And you have young Montero, who was born on that day. It's, it's every day, every year from now on, they're going to be howling. So these things are crossbreeding now. So watching all of these energies interplay, I say watch Lil Nas X and how they move him through our minds. Watch him closely, or don't watch him actually. There's some people, the people that don't want to, that complain. If you don't feel like watching the brother, you don't have to. You don't have to click on that video. We're at the point where you don't know what he gonna come out with. It might be some weird shit, and if you go take a risk, take that risk. But if not, don't do it. Just know you probably ain't really built for it. So, yeah, so this is a whole different timeline now because the generation is it's training, but it's changing as well. And we as artists too, because I'm an artist, we're changing the energy as well. We're moving this stuff along too. So, it's not based on just one person's content. It's all of our contributions, so we will have different content with different timelines. And if your music is good, your music is good. That at the end of the day. But yeah, it's been cool talking to y'all. Yeah, this is just my thoughts on DMX Lil Nas X connection. And they try to tie in Prince Philip for some reason, but let's be honest, nobody's really going to remember him. They're going to tie the royal energy to Earl from now on, and they're going to howl because of Earl, because of DMX from now on. I could see that shit. I could see this. Man, I'm gonna hold this off for another time. But yeah, this is my thoughts on DMX. This is my thoughts on Lil Nas X. This is my thoughts on just that 99th day of the year, that gateway, the observance, and who's taking, who's taking on that energy. So yeah, this has been Occult Freestyle. Observing the symbols. Peace.